yourself.
Coming into round 15 on the schedule, we're closing in on halfway in the season, and Dom Caps just came off his 5th win of the season at Texas in dominating fashion, leading over 100 laps. Another 1.5 mile track here at Kansas. How will he fare against everyone else here today? We're gonna have to wait and see, as he won his 4th Sony Pole Award of the season, and he's looking to tie Eugene Max for the most wins all time in a single season. With 6 wins, he could do that for the rest of this season. One more win and he ties the record. Can he do it? Gonna have to wait and see. He's trying to eat into the point lead of Jesse Turner. Can Turner pull off a 13th consecutive top 10 finish of the season? As we get set and ready to take off and go racing, Dom Caps looking for a 6th win of the season. He's been on a roll. Eric Burton, a fantastic qualifying effort for him, starting on the outside of the front row. 134 laps today, and we're racing. Down the back, straight away for the first time tonight, Jordan Davis, Dom Caps, 2 of the biggest heavy hitters of the series who've been running really well as of recently. Side by side to lead lap 1, give it to Dom Caps. Gonna take a peek back here at midfield. New driver for the 78 Dodge here for Horizon Group, battling for the 20th position teammates. Matt DeLeo is back in the Cup Series, replacing Sean Perkins. Perkins got released from Horizon Group. And here is Matt DeLeo back in the race car for the first time in a while. And he's right now sliding backwards just a little bit, but right now mid-pack and holding his own. Nick Mace in the Lowe's 48 Chevy just went by the 5 car just a few laps ago of Jordan Davis to take 2nd. And he's looking to take the lead here on Dom Caps. Want to make note that Nick Mace, last time we were here at Kansas, he was having a fantastic battle with Ryan Griffin. He ended up finishing 2nd that day, and he's looking to get redemption of a Kansas victory and trying to pull this one off as Mace takes the lead from Dom Caps. How about Dylan Schwellenberg? He and Eric Burton working really closely together this weekend with their setups, because Athenian and Curtis Racing ultimately at the end is going to be handed off to Curtis Racing at the end of the season. This 8 team has really been doing well in the last couple of races, and Dylan Schwellenberg qualifying inside the top 10, and he's working his way towards the front right now, running inside the top 5. Problem for Jeffrey Lynn, looks as though he might have a tire down. He woed up a lot. He was running inside the top 15, was trying to crack the top 10. Looks as though Lynn has a cut tire. Matthew Rodriguez up towards the front now. He's making his way towards the leaders and is trying to get past his teammate Dom Caps. He came close to winning at Texas last weekend. He wants to come out on top this time, but he's going to have to pass not only his teammate, but Nick Mace, who is looking like he's trying to pull the gap on Dom Caps. And here comes Rodriguez to the inside of Dom Caps. And Matthew Rodriguez takes over the 2nd position. For the 2nd race weekend in a row, DJ Curtis has started out back and had to work his way through some race cars. He's out here in 16th position trying to get by Jeffrey Finguy and Eric Burton. Both of these drivers qualified very well, but they have been dropping through the field a little bit. And Burton, who started 2nd, continuing to fall through the field. Speaking of drivers who have been falling through the grid, Ryan Griffin, the defending winner of this race, has not found any luck so far. He has been complaining of a bad handling race car, and his car has just been really bad for him. He's been pretty slow. He's out there in 28th position. So Griffin's got a lot of work to do on his car, and so does Luke Martin, as he's running outside the top 30. And, oh, he got into, said Sean Perkins. Matt DeLeo, his first race back for Horizon Group, ends in a crash, and the first caution flag of the day is out. Looking at Sean, I'm going to have troubles all year for the rest of the year with this. Matt DeLeo looks like his car was going dead on him, and he tried to get to the inside and got sideswiped and spun around in front of the field. And for 2 weeks in a row, the 78 team is going to be behind the wall. Big time problems on pit road for Matthew Rodriguez. Something is amiss as they were really struggling in that pit stop, and Rodriguez, who had climbed his way all the way up to second before the caution flag came out, a bad pit stop for the 99 team. Well, as we come back to the restart, Jeffrey Lynn is on the tail end of the lead lap. Nick Mace is your leader. Caps is back to second. Jenkins and his teammate of Dejon Weeks. The Amp car is looking pretty sporty in the top 5. I still can't get over Curtis's Racing. Curtis Racing's 8 Chevy of Dylan Schwellenberg, the Hardee's champion from last year. He's up here going for 4th position on Steven Jenkins, who did not get a good start. Chris Dodd's having a great run today. He ran very well at Atlanta. He's up here inside the top 10. Jake Bassinger in the top 10 as well. PJ Williams and Sean Harple. Give a call to Sean Harple. He started outside the top 30 in today's race. And by lap 24, he's in the top 10. And Mr. Consistent all year, Jesse Turner in the top 10. Dejon Weeks is looking to take the 2nd position away from Dom Caps. It looks as though he will. And here comes Dylan Schwellenberg to try and follow him through. Dylan Schwellenberg and his race team are having a fantastic day right now, moving their way past Dom Caps and in their 3rd position. I tell you, somebody else that's on rails, how about that 31 Chevy? Sean Harple's team has really hit on something as of recent, and he's blows by Jake Bassinger, and he's working his way towards a top 5 run. Steven Jenkins trying to work his way by Dylan Schwellenberg for the 4th position back again. And it looks as though he will. Actually, that was for the 3rd position. So Jenkins having a good day. Schwellenberg can't say enough. I've been saying how great of a day he's having. Hopefully he can keep it up. This is a great day and good effort by the 8 team. They've really hit on something. And here comes Harple to try and take the 4th position. He started outside the top 30. He's been our biggest mover of the race. Give a call to the 2016 Hardee's National Series champion. Problems for Jordan Davis's race car. Looks as though it might be a mechanical failure. They're under the hood of the 5 Chevy on pit road. Jordan Davis has returned to the racetrack in the 5 car. Man, it just seems like he either has a really good day or a really bad day as Nick Mace comes up to lap him. He takes out his teammate. The 2 teammates have wrecked. The top 3 race cars have spun into turn 1. Big crash heading up into turn 1 involving many race cars. A bunch of drivers trying to slam on the brakes. A huge, humongous wreck down into turn 1 that involved most of the field as Hayden Klein is upside down. A humongous crash down into turn 1 that took out the leader and the rest of the field. Wow, I didn't even see this one coming. Davis just comes right up in front of Nick Mace, and Mace gets involved, and Davis sideswipes Jenkins back up into him, and Bassinger gets in it. Harple, Caps, Jesse Turner's in that one. There's Acosta, Griffin, there's Curtis in it, Collins, Young, Klein, Sanford, Allen. Some drivers slamming on the brakes to try and avoid it. A bunch of race cars have damage, and some of them are going to be out of the race. Jake Bassinger, that's one of our title contenders, is going to be out. Griffin, the defending winner, out of the race. Mace had been dominating up this point. He's out. And Jesse Turner is not going to finish in the top 10 today as he's got a load of damage. And Jordan Davis, racing back to the caution flag, just slams into William Brock. Oh, man, that might be a call to the holler after that one because, man, oh, man. Dom Caps is in this one. A lot of our title contenders are in this wreck. Nick Mace looked on pace to possibly take a 30th career win, and his own teammate is going to take him out of it, and his race is done. On board, one of our title contenders of Jake Bassinger. Oh, he made such a great move to avoid Jordan Davis and had nowhere to go. And the rest of the field comes piling in. Nowhere for them to go. This is going to be big in the championship. A lot of the big hitters are involved in this wreck. That's going to bring a lot of the guys right back in the thick of things. On board Dylan Schwellenberg, he's going to end up being your new race leader after all the leaders just wrecked right here. Right place, right time, and he's going to end up being your race leader as Dejon Weeks up in front of him is going to have to pit for damage. Well, this has changed the outcome of the race significantly. Dylan Schwellenberg is your new race leader. PJ Williams sitting there in second. Chris Dodd in the third position. Carson Scott in fourth. William Brock, he's a lap down. And fourth position is Andreas Allen. Then it's Eric Burton, Luis Hernandez, Levi Pasco, Bobby Jones, Jordan Fisher. A lot of the drivers you usually wouldn't see have a chance to really make something of this race. A costly mistake by the Mace Enterprises cars have taken this race into a complete 180, and now Dylan Schwellenberg leads the race. Battle for the third position is on, though. The race is still on. We're racing out there. Even though the big heavy hitters are not out there anymore, we still got a race in our hands. 4 drivers battling for the win of this race. We're not even halfway. Schwellenberg, last year's Hardee's National Series champion, racing PJ Williams, Carson Scott in the third, and Chris Dodd sliding back in fourth. Those are the drivers right here racing for the lead. Casey Lester blowing by Eric Burton. That's for the 5th position. And Schwellenberg's teammate Hernandez is looking to take the 6th position. We're hearing that Eric Burton may have debris that punctured a hole in the nose that's causing him to be pretty slow on the straightaways. But Hernandez trying to take a peek to the inside of him. Marchese, his first race in the Sony Cup Series. He is a lap down. Bobby Jones in 8th. He's not had a top 10 since the Daytona 500. Levi Pasco in 9th. And how about Stephen Pollard III right now in the top 10? Battle for the 2nd position. Carson Scott trying to get underneath of the 3 of PJ Williams. That allows Dylan Schwellenberg to edge out a little bit on the front 2 drivers. Carson Scott, all of his teammates, Hoffman, DNQ, Turner got taken out of that wreck, and also Bassinger is out. Now all the weight on Turner Performance is on Carson Scott, and Scott has the best chance to win that he's had all year. So does Williams and Schwellenberg. I can't say enough of how great of a drive Dylan Schwellenberg and his team have had all weekend to be as fast as they are, and this door is open, wide open for them to take this win if possible, and they're having a fantastic run. Some of our big heavy hitters aren't giving up just yet. Dejon Weeks, he's trying to get underneath of Levi Pasco. That's for 7th. Even though Weeks got that damage, he's still pretty competitive. Jeffrey Lynn fell a lap down early in the race. He got his lap back, and here he is in a position to do very well. But further on back, DJ Curtis with no hood is inside the top 15, trying to get as much points as he can. And Turner still riding around out there, and he's in 22nd, so he's not going to get a top 10 finish today, but he's still going to finish ahead of most of his competitors. Battle for the lead ongoing. Carson Scott to the inside of the rookie. Carson Scott won at Chicagoland last year. Hayden Klein going to get in the way of things. Is it going to be a beneficial to Scott or Schwellenberg? And Klein trying to get out of the way. Klein ended up tumbling under that last caution flag, but he's still out there going. And Schwellenberg's not only going to lose the lead, but he's going to lose second to PJ Williams. Chris Dodd trying to get back in the mix of this as well. This is going to be Dodd's best chance to try and win a race as well. Sitting there in the 4th position. And Schwellenberg trying to do the crossover back on Williams. But like I said, Carson Scott won at Chicagoland. That was a 1.5-mile track. And he's trying to get another victory to his name. The battle for the lead is shaping up once again. Schwellenberg has Scott in his crosshairs, trying to take him down. Side by side for the race lead. Dylan Schwellenberg, Carson Scott, Williams, and Chris Dodd. All 4 of these drivers know this is their best chance to get a Sony Cup Series victory than they'll ever have. The top contenders all wrecked out in the turn 1, and they're going to have one of the best chances they'll have all year. And Dylan Schwellenberg's not going to let Carson Scott just take it away so easily, and Carson Scott's going to put up a big battle as well. Williams has not visited Victory Lane in the Cup Series since Season 15. It's been a long time for Williams. He'd love to get back to Victory Lane, and Chris Dodd looks as though he doesn't seem to have as much horsepower as he needs to really compete with these guys. Even though he may be saving something, that is a Martin Motorsports entry with the engines under the hood, so that 15 car sure can win a race, and so can that 27. They're powered by some of the best teams in the sport, and they're going to try and use it up here at the end of this race. But the Curtis Racing and the Athenian cars using similar engines for this race weekend, so Schwellenberg and Williams, they're not going to just go down without a fight. But Jeffrey Lynn and Dejon Weeks have been some of the best cars as of recently, and they missed that first wreck that took out many drivers. And so Lynn and Weeks are going to try and get back up there and contend for this win. Lap car of Hayden Klein going to possibly play a factor for the rest of the race as he's off the pace. Jeffrey Lynn has caught these drivers. Unbelievable drive by Jeffrey Lynn. I can't say enough for him as well. Jeffrey Lynn cut a tire down in turn 3 early in the race, had to come down pit road, and he had to get some new tires. He fell a lap down, got his lap back because of that caution flag that took out many drivers, ended up coming away unscathed, and here he is sitting in 3rd position, going to try and take the position away, and there he goes. Jeffrey Lynn's got a really bad, fast race car, and he's got a chance to win his 2nd race of the season. Carson Scott trying to take the race lead yet again. Lap 71 of 134. Scott underneath of Schwellenberg, but Jeffrey Lynn going to try and take an opportunity to follow me through and try and make a pass for the lead. Lynn to the inside in the 44 Dodge. Side by side. And Lynn looks like he's got a really good car. That car turns through the center way better than the 27 and the 8. And now Jeffrey Lynn is out front, and Scott going to try and get back underneath him. Side by side. But you just can see, look at Lynn. He pushes up there, but he can just accelerate so much better than Scott, and he's going to be able to hold the lead. Oh no, more trouble! Jeffrey Lynn is wrecked, the leader! Jeffrey Lynn was just about to pull away. He had the best car out of the leaders, and now he's out of the race. And a big crash behind him as they tried to avoid William Brock, Eric Burton, Anthony Marchese, Andreas Allen, all got involved in a wreck as they tried to avoid the spinning 76. I can't believe it. This is unreal. I can't believe the drivers today are being this unaware of their surroundings. We already know that Jordan Davis is being called to the hauler after this race, and now William Brock will be called because reckless driving is a big no-no in the series, and you just got to be aware of those circumstances, and you cannot afford to be wrecking people and being off the pace that slow too. Well, we missed the green flag, but Carson Scott is back in the lead once again, handing Carson Scott, Dylan Schwellenberg, even Casey Lester, Chris Dodd, and PJ Williams a good chance to win this race. Levi Pasco has joined the mix of this. Nick Piercles, Zachary Fitzwater, Dejon Weeks is still in there, and Bobby Jones, Stephen Plow III, and Zayden Davidson all have a realistic chance to win today's race as we're closing in on 50 to go. Up front for the final 33 laps, Carson Scott has been leading the charge since the restart. Dylan Schwellenberg sitting back there in 2nd, PJ Williams in 3rd, and Casey Lester. You have 2 rookies with a legitimate shot to win their first Sony Cup Series race right here today. Last year, a rookie named Ryan Griffin went to victory lane for the first time. Can we see Schwellenberg or Casey Lester do the same thing? Or will we see Williams or Carson Scott pull into victory lane yet again? We're about to find out. Or can Pasco, Dodd, or Weeks run them down? The inside, P.J. Williams taking a look on Dylan Schwellenberg. Side by side for the second position. And P.J. Williams is going to overtake the rookie. P.J. Williams, it's been a long dry spell for him. Been forever ago since he won a race in the Sony Cup Series. And he's just got to pass one more car, and he's going to roll back into victory circle. Lap cars could be a factor. Carson Scott trying to get around them all. Hayden Klein, Duck Lockrow. Lockrow going to slam the door. Man, these lap cars really aren't playing nice with the leaders today. Lockrow trying to get around Klein. That's going to bundle up Carson Scott. Here comes Casey Lester, all the way back from 4th place, making it 3 wide for 2nd. Casey Lester moving his way up to 2nd position. Coming down to the very end of this race. It's going to be close to about 20 to go. Carson Scott still trying to hang on with the race lead. He has just dominated this race ever since that big crash that took out majority of the field. Now, Casey Lester, Dylan Schwellenberg, 2 rookies, gonna have to plan a move to get around the veteran of Carson Scott. P.J. Williams gonna have to find a way around all of them as we're down with 20 to go. And Schwellenberg gonna take 2nd back. Underneath of Casey Lester, a dive bomb move in a turn 1. And it looks as low as he's gonna get it with a little bit of help from P.J. Williams down the straightaway. Still side by side. Lester trying to hang on. What a fight by Casey Lester. Hangs on and keeps 2nd position. P.J. Williams now getting in the middle of this battle. And he's going to clear Casey Lester. So move Williams up into 2nd position. Schwellenberg going to try and follow him through. Casey Lester riding that high side, trying to keep it. But P.J. Williams going to have to run down the 27. Here comes P.J. Williams. He's made a run on the Carson Scott machine. Oh, he took a peek to the inside, but couldn't quite get down there. Schwellenberg and Lester have been fighting for the 3rd position, but Lester been able to hang on the outside. But P.J. Williams had a run on the 27 of Carson Scott, but wasn't able to make the move work all the way. Williams seems like he's got some better tires here at the end of this run. He's going to give Carson Scott a run for his money, as here he is getting a run down the back straightaway. It's been harder and harder to make a pass as the run goes on. And Scott's just going to hang on for 10 more laps, but Williams is right there if he makes a mistake. Coming down to the end of this race. Many of the top contenders of the series got wrecked out early. So you're seeing some of the drivers that took advantage of this accident to put themselves in position to try and take home a Sony Cup Series victory. 2 veterans, P.J. Williams, Carson Scott, trying to take a win home for the race team. They have pulled away from Dylan Schwellenberg and Casey Lester. 5th is Dejon Weeks, but they're not going to be a factor. It has come down to 2 drivers for this win. Carson Scott has led the most laps of today's race and has really capitalized on being the last Turner Performance car out on the racetrack, actually still in competitive equipment enough to run with the leaders. With about 5 laps to go, Scott has some room in between him and P.J. Williams. Williams is going to have to really work hard in these last 5 laps if he wants to take home the win. 2 laps to go. Carson Scott trying to go around the lap car. Hayden Klein, he's wrecked. The leader is wrecked. Carson Scott, he had turned Hayden Klein. Klein got in the way of him. With 2 laps to go, the caution flag is out. P.J. Williams takes advantage of it. The 3rd time today a lap car got in the way of the leader. And Carson Scott's going to lose the race. P.J. Williams off turn 4 is going to come to the caution flag to win the round of Kansas. Oh no! Oh my God! For the 3rd time! The 3rd time this race, a lap car is going to take the leader out of contention. And it was Hayden Klein who ended up getting spun. Hayden Klein have been riding around damaged all race, and he's actually dead last on the track right now as of the car is still running. Oh, but what a heartbreak for Carson Scott. Carson Scott led the most laps and was gonna go on to win this race, it looked like, but lap cars was gonna be a factor, and it ended up being one, as PJ Williams is gonna lead the final 2 laps to win the round of Kansas. What a remarkable upset and a crazy finish. A crazy race, that's what it is. That's what you talk about, taking advantage of all the accidents and incidents that happened throughout the race. Athenian Motorsports goes back to victory lane for the first time since 2016 for round 6 of Oklahoma. This is their second win ever as a team. And man, they hung in there all race. PJ Williams is a winner in the Sony Cup Series again. Scott is going to have to just settle for second. Dylan Schwellenberg third. Good run for him as he edges out Casey Lester for the Rookie of the Race point. Dejon Weeks fifth. Chris Dodd gets in the 6th position. Levi Pascoe 7th. Nick Pierre-Calise gets 8th for Blue Flare. Hero Motorsports gets their first top 10 with Bobby Jones since the Daytona 500 and 9th. And Zachary Fitzwater rounding out the top 10. But, man, you feel for Carson Scott, but you're elated for PJ Williams as he's your winner here at Kansas.